If someone gave you £200 to harm someone you've never met in your life, would you do it? Ask this question to 15-year-old Gayle and the answer will be a definite yes. Not only did he hurt another individual, but he took away the life of a young mother for only £200. His conviction was made possible because the act of his crime was caught on CCTV. But before we get into the details of this case, I'd just like to apologize for not posting as much. Recently, I've been really into NFTs, and for those who might be thinking, what's an NFT? It's basically a non-fungible token that's stored on the blockchain and it can be traded and sold. What's special about it is that each of the NFT is uniquely identifiable, and some even have incredible utilities. So, for example, if you hold a bear market NFT, they will allow all bear holders to gain access to their SocialFi platform, allowing you to earn money via social to earn. And what's even better about it is that they plan to sell their own merchandise, and the revenue earned will be rewarded to the NFT holders, so that would be you if you bought one of their bear NFTs. And of course, I am a holder myself, and this is my bear market NFT. Isn't it cute? And they also have a really strong brand partnership with other companies, which makes them a strong competitor in the NFT world. You should give them a follow on social media, especially Discord, because they have regular giveaways and you don't want to miss out. I'll link their Discord, Twitter, and Instagram in the description down below for you to check out. As always, with all NFT projects, you need to do your own due diligence before you invest in them. Now, back to the case. So in 2010, London, Hackney, 15-year-old Santre Gayle was a member of a notorious street gang known as the Kensal Green Boys, KGB. There's a clear hierarchy in street gangs, and Gayle was a younger member of the gang who looked up to his senior, 21-year-old Izak Billy. Izak Billy was a well-known drug dealer, and he committed all sorts of crimes. One day, Izak Billy was approached by a man and was given £2,000 for contract killing. Izak Billy was fast to accept the £2,000, however, he didn't want to get his hands dirty, so he then approached then 15-year-old Gayle, who was from northwest London, to carry out the assassination and allegedly paying him just £200. On the 22nd of March 2010, Gayle took a minicab and arrived at 8:22 p.m. to the 26-year-old Gulistan Subasi's flat in Hackney, London. He knocked on her door, but at the time, Gulistan was with her mother. Initially, her mother wanted to open the door, but Gulistan thought it was her 7-year-old son, as they were due to celebrate her son's 7th birthday on the day of the tragic incident. Filled with excitement, she ran to the door to open it, however was met with Gayle on the other side, who was wearing a hoodie. He had rested his shotgun on the front gate, preparing to pull the trigger as soon as the door was answered. As soon as the door was opened, the hall light came on, and he shot her in the chest. After which he fled the crime scene and got back into the same taxi as he had arrived, appearing motionless. Gulistan's mother immediately called the police, in which they arrived in minutes. The police saw blood splatters and a pool of blood on the floor. By the time authorities had arrived, Gulistan had passed away in her mother's arm. Gulistan's mother was hysterical. She was crying uncontrollably. She felt terribly guilty because she said she was the one who was about to open the door, instead of her daughter. The police worked hard to find the assassinator, but didn't have a clue. Even though there were CCTV footages, but they couldn't see the person's face. They could only guess their height. The investigators cut off the metal railing in front of Gulistan's front door. Because looking at the CCTV, it was clear they had touched the railing. The metal railing was then sent for forensic testing, however, they couldn't find anything useful. They reviewed the case and tried to come up with reasons for the incident. However, with no clues, they were at a dead end and the case was stuck. With many hours of investigation, eventually, Gayle's name came up, but he lived in Willesden, London, and the crime took place at Hackney. So given the large distance, the police didn't connect the two together. One brave witness, 19-year-old Ryan Hatunga, contacted the police to give his testimony about what he had heard. He was a friend of Gayle, and one day he heard Gayle confessing about the crime which took place on the 22nd of March. Ryan was also a member of the gang, and the reason he came forward was because of some inter-gang disputes between them. So in order for Ryan to protect himself and for moral reasons, he decided to come forward. Which was, of course, the right thing to do. The police pieced the evidence together, and this led them to Gayle and his recruiter, Izak Billy. The police then first arrested Gayle, after which they wanted to arrest Izak too. However, he went into hiding, so the police made a nuisance with Izak's family and friends. Eventually, this led to Izak surrendering himself, and they were subsequently charged. When the police first saw Gayle, they were shocked to see how a 15-year-old was capable of such a crime, because through looking at the CCTV, they thought the contract killing was committed by a professional hitman, as there was no hesitation in the shooting. The police then searched Gayle's house where he lived with his mother. During the search, the police noticed his mother was very distant and removed from his crimes. They believed growing up, Gayle had very little to no parental support, which may have influenced him to commit such a heinous crime. In addition, Gayle's half-brother and cousin was involved with 2 other murders, in which this may have an impact on him. Gayle was allegedly given only £200 to carry out the assassination handed to him by his recruiter Izak Billy. Because of the lack of evidence, the police were unable to pursue justice all the way down. So the real question here is, who contacted Izak Billy, and why did they want this young mother gone? 26-year-old Gulistan was a young mother to his 7-year-old son at the time of the incident. After Gulistan gave birth to her son, she and her ex-husband, 28-year-old Serdar Özbek's relationship broke down, so in 2005 Gulistan returned to her home country in Turkey, leaving her son to be taken care of by her ex, Serdar. In 2010, Gulistan decided to return to London to visit her mother and also celebrate her son's 7th birthday. When her ex-husband heard about this, he was anxious and concerned Gulistan would regain custody of their son, as she was also due to get married with another man. He couldn't bear to live without his son, and it was claimed Serdar had called his brother Hussein to set up the killing. This was said in court to have been the motive for the crime. 7 people were charged for the murder, to include Serdar, Gulistan's ex-husband. However, he was not found guilty because at the time of the killing he was out of the country. There were no confessions made, and the case was built on circumstantial evidence to include phone calls and a clear motive. Having said that, the jury found there was a lack of evidence to prove he was responsible for the death of Gulistan, therefore he was not found guilty. The police then targeted Serdar's brother, believing he was the one who contacted Izak Billy for the contract killing. However, he fled the UK and moved to Northern Cyprus. Because there was no extradition agreement between the UK and Northern Cyprus, the police couldn't arrest him. Due to the overwhelming evidence, both Izak Billy and Gayle were found to be guilty. Although Izak Billy didn't pull the trigger, he recruited Gayle to do so. 21-year-old Izak Billy was sentenced to 22 years, and Gayle received a slightly lower sentence of 20 years because of his age. Some people believe Serdar was behind this, but due to lack of evidence, he was not charged. So what are your opinions? Who do you think is behind this? Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like, comment down below and subscribe, share my videos. It is much appreciated. Also, if you can, please do follow me on Instagram. I'm so much more active on there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.